Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving into something absolutely wild, how artificial intelligence is uncovering an astonishing connection between ancient monuments and advanced astronomy. For thousands of years, humanity has looked up at the stars and asked some pretty huge questions about our origins and our past. But now, we've got a brand new tool looking at those exact same stars and our oldest structures, and honestly, the patterns it's finding are completely changing the way we look at human history.
So here is the big, profound question we are tackling today. How did ancient builders know the future of the stars? By feeding massive amounts of historical data into supercomputers, we're talking everything from ancient scriptures to complex architectural layouts, AI has handed us a monumental puzzle about what primitive humans were actually capable of. It's looking way beyond the stone itself and discovering this hidden underlying layer of mathematical and astronomical mastery.
Here is our roadmap for today's investigation. First, AI meets ancient architecture. Then, alignments in ancient Egypt. After that, India's temple mathematics, followed by astronomical precision in Peru. Then, we'll explore the celestial connection, and finally, ask the question, a forgotten advanced intelligence? Let's trace this planet-wide architectural mystery.
All right, let's jump right into part 1. AI meets ancient architecture.
It's a really fascinating juxtaposition, if you think about it. Artificial intelligence was originally built to solve our most impossible modern headaches, things like curing diseases, fighting climate change, and pushing space exploration forward. But as these neural networks became exponentially more powerful, scientists decided to feed them humanity's oldest mysteries. They inputted millions of pages of human belief, ranging from the Bible and the Quran to the Bhagavad Gita and Mayan prophecies. The whole goal was just to find hidden patterns that the human eye couldn't catch. But it was when AI turned its digital eyes toward the physical remnants of lost civilizations that things got incredibly strange.
Moving right along to part 2, alignments in ancient Egypt.
So, when the AI began running its simulations, it zeroed in heavily on structures that were aligned with the cosmos. And the results? AI analysis highlighted that monuments like the Great Pyramid of Giza possess a level of mathematical exactness that completely defies the era they were built in. They feature perfect alignments with specific constellations, like Orion's Belt, and they synchronize with complex planetary movements. And the kicker? All of this was achieved entirely without modern tools, lasers, or computer modeling. It is absolutely mind-blowing.
Which brings us to part 3, India's temple mathematics. Now you might be thinking, this staggering exactness was just an isolated Egyptian thing, right? Well, not at all. AI simulations found that ancient structures thousands of miles away in India, places like the sprawling Brihadisvara temple or the sun-aligned geometry of Konark, showcase a stunningly complex mathematical precision too. This strongly implies that the folks who built these temples possessed highly advanced geometry and a deep, incredibly sophisticated astronomical awareness, embedding it directly into the stone. Let's look at our next location in part 4, astronomical precision in Peru.
The core mystery AI has brought to light really comes down to this shared pattern. We have 3 completely disconnected civilizations: Egypt, India, and Peru. Whether we're talking about pyramids, ornate temples, or the 13 solar towers of Chonquillo in Peru, the shared discovery is identical across the board: advanced astronomical precision. How could these totally disconnected civilizations, separated by massive oceans and sometimes vast stretches of time, share the exact same inexplicable celestial techniques? It's a pattern that probability and logic suggest shouldn't be possible by mere coincidence.
This leads us into part 5, the celestial connection.
Okay, so this is where the story shifts from just fascinating to straight up unbelievable, because it turns out these structures weren't just aligned with the sky of their specific historical time. By running the clock forward in its simulations, AI revealed that many of these ancient monuments appear perfectly connected to celestial events happening far into the future. They seemingly predicted and accounted for planetary movements that hadn't even happened yet.
And we aren't just talking about a couple of decades here. The alignments point to cosmic events literally thousands of years into the future. This suggests a mastery of long-term astronomy and a deep understanding of the universe's mechanics that primitive humans absolutely shouldn't have possessed. It's as if the ancient builders were working off an impossibly advanced cosmic calendar.
Finally, part 6, a forgotten advanced intelligence?
You know, the thing about AI is that it doesn't think emotionally. It searches purely through probability and logic. And after crunching human history, it suggests a timeline of repeating cycles. The sequence basically goes like this. First, humanity advances. Second, strange timing patterns emerge. Third, massive cosmic or climate disasters occur. And finally, civilization completely disappears, collapsing right back into a primitive state. AI is basically proposing that human history isn't a straight line going upward, but actually a loop.
The AI specifically flagged these strange timing patterns right before a civilizational decline. It found mathematical links between spikes in solar activity, massive climate disasters, and global human conflicts across various lost eras. Think about the implications of that. It means those ancient disconnected tales of great floods, cosmic destruction, or fire falling from the sky might not be mythological stories at all. They might be the literal, recorded memories of previous civilizational collapses.
Which brings us to a truly humbling thought experiment proposed by the AI. Imagine a tiny ant living its entire life next to a sprawling human city. It has an absolute inability to understand human civilization, our technology, or our intentions. It simply lacks the biological hardware to get it. Well, the AI suggests that the human brain itself may have similar limits. We might just lack the capacity to fully comprehend a higher, more advanced intelligence that existed in our past, or maybe even exists right now.
There's a profound thought that elegantly summarizes the ultimate implication of the AI's findings here. If previous, highly advanced civilizations existed, or if some higher form of intelligence interacted with early humanity, how would primitive people possibly understand it? If they saw flying objects, immense energy, or advanced technology, they wouldn't have the vocabulary for science. They would use the vocabulary of the divine. Primitive humans may have simply documented advanced technology and beings as gods.
As AI continues to act as our cyber sleuth, decoding the universe, finding lost connections in Egypt, India, and Peru, and uncovering the mathematical perfection of reality, it leaves us with one final massive question. If a higher intelligence is truly watching humanity, whether that's an advanced past civilization or something beyond our physical dimension, what happens when humanity finally discovers it? Will AI be the tool that forces us to confront that reality? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.